Hi everyone, in this tutorial we're going to use a tool in Adobe Photoshop 11 called the Color Picker tool. It can be really useful when trying to match colors in photos and trying to edit photos a certain way. So remember, anytime we open up a photo, so when we go to File and we open up a photo, as I've done, I brought this in, we can always go in and take a look at the image, and we can go to resize and we can look at the image size, and we can see here that if we printed this at 300 pixels per inch, in other words high res, we can only print it to a maximum size of 1.5 by approximately 1.3 inches. So it is a small file. You can see that's only about 500K. So be careful when you're printing. We want to make sure that we have a proper resolution for the file that we're printing. Now, like I said, in this tutorial, we're going to look at the color picker tool, and that's this tool over here. Notice in this image here, we have a bad shadow. Now, before I use that tool, don't forget we always want to duplicate the original layer. So I'm going to right click and duplicate the original. And then I'm going to close the visibility on that original photo, and I'm just going to work on this layer here. That way I've got the background photo in case I ever want to go back if I don't like the changes I've made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Control Plus and I'm going to zoom in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get rid of this bad shadow. Notice that the background here, we're lucky, is all one color. So this is going to be a fairly easy fix using the color picker tool. So I'm going to click here, and then what it does is it basically samples the color in an area of a photo. So if I click on this here, you can go down here and see that that's the color that it has sampled. So now when I go to the brush tool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the opacity right to the maximum because I want my brush to be at full strength and I don't want any transparency. And then I'm going to make sure it's the right size, looks good right now, and I'm just going to brush this in. So as you can see, we are brushing in that color. And like we said, this one's a fairly easy fix because the background is all one color. Now, we do have some hair to deal with here, so you have to decide what you're going to do with that hair. We might just want to delete that and just be careful. Now, we can do a rough edge here, and then when we're done, we can go in and we can zoom in to get a little tighter on this fix here. So I'm going to go Control Plus and zoom in, and you can see when we zoom in a certain amount, you get down to the pixel level here. So I'm just going to change the size of my brush here and bring this in. And like so. I'm going to try to get close here. Remember, if you don't like a change that you've just made, you can do Control Z and go back one step, just in case we get something that doesn't look very natural. So I want you to do the same thing with your photo. And when you're done, you are going to export as a JPEG and put it on your website. That's it for this tutorial. We'll talk to you soon.